This episode of the T4 Show is brought to you by Netflix. Watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on your PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, or TV instantly. All streamed directly to you, saving you time, money, and hassle. For your free 30-day trial, go to netflix.com/GFQ. Hey everyone, welcome to the T4 Show. This is episode number 152 for August 1st, 2013. My name is Michael Madden, and in this episode, we have a ton of updated reviews along with some iPad mini Retina display rumors. Is this what you're waiting for, Colm? The Retina display on the iPad mini to get this beautiful device?
I've been waiting so long. You know what? Not even to have it, just to call you and go, I told you should have waited. That's the only reason.
But that's one reason. That's the reason why you want to get one.
No. I want to get one because it's going to look awesome. I mean, now that this Nexus 7 has come out, I feel like they have to turn off their phones when they make noises. I think that I think everyone's going to be excited. I think Retina on an iPad mini is going to be a huge product.
Great. Oh, we're going to talk about that and a ton of other stuff. We have Colm at Culmination on Twitter, and we also have the founder of the GFQ network, Andrew Zarian, at Andrew Zarian on Twitter. How are you doing, Andrew?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Today's a special Thursday show, so we have some trouble with the GFQ Skype machine. I hope everything fixed now. Everything good?
It was actually it's like a router for the Skype machine, so it sends the mix minus audio to the Skype machines. It's a very expensive piece of hardware, and on Tuesday, I came downstairs to the studio and everything was, it was just ticking. So I knew the power supply was bad, and it's a whole thing. So I sent it out to Telos. I sent the equipment out. They overnighted a replacement unit, and I got it the following morning. So we only lost 1 day of shows.
Customer service.
Oh, phenomenal. Yeah.
Phenomenal. I think customer service is coming back in a big way in this country, by the way. I like to say that. When it's here.
You know, hardly any of it's here, though.
I know, but I'm saying of the stuff I've seen come back and be here, it's gotten better.
You know what? I've always thought that, too, until I had to call for my credit card replacement. Right. And I lost my card yesterday in the city, so I called. And I couldn't believe how incompetent the people were. They could not get my information right, no matter how many times I repeated it. And I knew my phone was fine because I was calling from a landline. I had to repeat my last name and the spelling out 15 times.
The real name or the fake name?
The real name. No, there's only one name.
I know.
It's only one name. They could not get the Z and the A. They're like Zareanj. I'm like, nobody even said J. And this went on for like 10 minutes, and they were here in the States.
I'll tell you something that's going to be scary in the future. There's some countries that have PIN cards. Basically, they're like credit cards, or there's no cash. They're going to just this PIN card that acts like money. But they're trying to move the credit cards into the responsibility of the merchants and the consumers. So if even American Express, MasterCard, Visa, if you have something happen where someone charges something, or if there's a mistake on your bill, it's up to you and the merchant. The credit card company wants to eventually not be able to help out the consumers and the merchants, and we're kind of going to be left high and dry with that.
That's not good.
Yeah, but I think that whole this is going way off topic, but I think those things that are going on like Square and PayPal and more with your smartphones having those apps you can pay things for, I think we're going to see a total change in that whole market, I think.
Maybe.
But this is not the conspiracy show.
I didn't say it was a conspiracy. I just said that's the way it's going. You brought it up with customer service coming back in such a big way. I think it's going to go to the other way. I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's going to get much worse. So, I'm glad I have both of you on here because I'm the only one on the show today that does not own a Chromecast. And I know Andrew did a video. I know Colm has one in his household. I'd like to get an updated review from both of you. What do you think of it?
You want to go first, Colm?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first, Andrew.
Can I say what Colm's going to say? I love it. It's the best thing in the world. I wouldn't trade it in for anything. I'm getting rid of all my Apple products and buying only Google.
I don't think he's going to do that anymore.
I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Yes, Michael's correct. Basically, this is $35 to enable any monitor to display information from a tab on your computer. So for me, it is highly effective because it was a great use case yesterday. I had clients come to my office. They sat over there on the couch. I have a monitor up there. We were talking. They said, hey, let's check out the site. I had it right on Chromecast set up when they got there because I knew that would be good. And then I just hit the button and we were able to talk and look at things at the same time. So in that way, in a business environment, it worked incredible. I mean, it offers you YouTube and Netflix and Google Play stuff up on the screen, but it's really just having the ability to have AirPlay on another device, in my opinion. I think it's worth it if you need that.
Oh, no, I agree with you 100%. There are some situations that this thing comes in super, super handy. Almost an exact situation. I was showing my wife something, and I was on my I have a section in my bedroom called the drinking chair where I sit and I drink.
Wow.
And I was sitting in my drinking chair, and I wanted to show her something. She was in bed, and I just Chromecasted to the TV, and I was able to show her like the pictures and stuff, whatever was on the browser. Right. So in situations like that, it's really handy, and even if you use it like once a month for something like that, it pays off. Especially like if you're family coming over and you guys are showing the wedding videos or something and it's on YouTube, you could just Chromecast it to the TV. It works perfectly fine. But I have found a number of glitches. One being that the screen turns black every couple minutes.
Yes,
it'll do like this weird blink, and I can't figure out why it does that. Mm-hmm. The other one is that the audio sometimes loses sync, so it needs to speed up.
That happened to you? I thought that was just my network or something.
No, it's happened to me a couple times.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not... I'm not going to say that this device is not good because of those issues, because this is a very, very early device, and the full potential of this device will not be seen for, at least 6 months on what it's going to be able to do and what they're going to implement in this thing. I'm still hopeful that they're going to continue developing this. It's going to be a cool device, but it's really early, and there's not too many applications that this thing works with right now.
Yeah, and that's the weird part, because these aren't really like apps. It's weird. It's like when you pick YouTube, it takes you to the YouTube UI that's like on a Roku box or Xbox.
Let me just say this. I was thinking the other day, like, what is the purpose of this box, and why would they release a little $35 device when they have something on the market that's called Google TV that's selling for a higher price? And they kind of want to push Google TV. I don't know if they still want to do this, but their goal was that they wanted to be in every television. I think Eric Schmidt, about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, right before he left, a CEO, had said in a year, at next year's CES, 90% or 80% of every television will have Google TV. That did not happen. So and the reason why that didn't happen is because the networks and the cable companies were really sour on this device. Something that Google TV really suffers from is the fact that Hulu blocks Google TV access, Fox blocks Google TV access, ABC blocks it, NBC blocks it, and CBS blocks it. So if you're trying to watch content on the Google TV, they're blocking the websites if they have full episodes on there. They don't want you viewing it on this thing. For whatever reason, they think it's a threat. I think the purpose of this Chromecast is for Google to say, you know what, F you. We're going to stick it to you. There's nothing you could do now. People are watching it on a browser and they're beaming it to the TV. This is how we're going to bypass. You don't want to work with us? Fine. We're going to go around it, and we're going to give everybody the access that they want to cut their cord. I think this is more of a, we could do this and we don't need you to work with us type of device more than anything else. It's not about the applications. It's not about Chrome. It's about, if I don't have cable, I can just buy a $35 device, go to Fox's website or CBS's website, and watch full episodes directly on my TV.
Yeah. Michael?
I just think buy an Apple TV and call it a day.
But you can't do it on an Apple TV.
Well, you can AirPlay. And if you're talking about AirPlay and you're talking about cutting the cable, they have iTunes, they have season passes, they have all sorts of stuff. It's just like I'm so over the whole thing of trying to fragment my own internal workflow here in my home. I know it works for me. I've tried everything. I've ventured out like Colm did into the Android universe. I don't have trust in Google that 6 months from now this is going to expand. it's kind of a throwaway purchase, like you guys said.
Really?
$35, you get it. If they don't support it in a year, whatever. I was messing around with it. It's open source, so the community can root it and do whatever they want with it. It's very popular. It's not available on the Google Play Store or Amazon right now. It's 3 to 4 weeks. You'll probably have to walk into a Best Buy and hope that they have some in stock. They are getting shipments into Best Buy quite regularly. To me, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm becoming like an, grumpy old man in this tech world because I just say I don't really need it. It's not a matter of need now. If I really wanted, that's great, but I'd rather spend the extra money for a refurbished Apple TV for $75, use ATV Flash, and be able to AirPlay Plex and all that sort of use Plex on the Apple TV and all the things that I can do when I jailbreak it. Also, AirPlay works on more apps right now, like Infuse, the videos, Netflix, iTunes, a whole bunch of stuff. You can already AirPlay through an Apple TV and also AirPlay your computer or your laptop, your Apple one, to the Apple TV now. So, and who knows what's coming with iOS 7. So I don't know. It's $35 to me. Is still $35. I don't.
Yeah, but
I don't have too much of an interest in it. I love technology, but I don't trust Google to not make this another Nexus Q.
See, I don't think it's in Google's hands anymore. It's not in Google's hands. I don't. It's not that I think Google's not going to develop it. It's about if the developers are going to implement this in their future apps. If the developers implement it, then Google's forced to continue expanding on this device.
Yes.
Well, let's not forget that there is DRM attached to this Chromecast. You can't just play anything through it. There is some sort of DRM, and I don't know the
you can't do it on a capture card. Yeah, it doesn't work on a capture card.
Really?
Like the Extreme or stuff like that.
So it has the same thing that a PlayStation 3 has on it.
Well, let me just say this. It doesn't work on the Blackmagic Intensity Pro. I don't know about the AverMedia. I haven't tried it on the AverMedia card yet.
Okay.
But on the Blackmagic card, it does not work.
Why would they do that?
Because they don't want you recording content.
Yeah, I mean it's what is H?
You don't have that you don't have that Google based DVR running throughout your
Right.
Yeah, it's HDCP. It's the same reason why some laptops actually, generally with Intel chipsets, you can't connect to a capture card or to a Blackmagic card. A lot of the lower end, sub $500 laptops cannot work as a Skype machine if you're doing a video podcast.
It's pretty amazing because I have the Elgato Game Capture HD card, which in my opinion, on an updated review, it is the last capture card you ever want to buy for video game streaming, but you don't get those warnings with it. So you could theoretically record something from Netflix or Cinema Now on your Xbox 360, or if you're using something on your PS3, because you have the whole screen right there. I think that I'm not sure. You can't do a DVD. So if you put a DVD or a Blu-ray physical media in it, it won't work. But I wonder if you're capturing, something from Netflix, if you can capture that, and it's going to be a huge file. So I don't know why you would even want to do that. But I think it's possible.
You know what I think is the weirdest thing about it, and Andrew, you'll tell me if you agree, is that it show you go to the input that you're going to use, and it has this text that just says ready to cast and your network, and then it just shows you random pictures instead of checking to see where you are and doing local pictures, or maybe you could sign into Twitter.
Yeah, I think there should be more going on while instead of looking at pictures of trees. But again, it's a very early device. This is a first gen device, and I don't think Google even intended on this thing selling out at the rate that it did. I think they were totally caught off guard by the popularity of this device. And honestly, the reason why it's popular is it's $35. It's a thoughtless purchase. You don't have to think twice about it. If it was $100, then it'd be a whole different story.
This is interesting because I thought about the Nexus 4 in this way, that they should really make the Nexus 4 a lot cheaper, if not free, because the ads are where they make their money back. And if they put that device in enough people's hands as a free or a $35 or $50 phone, and it's ad supported, Google can make a ton of money off just putting devices in people's hands. And I'm sure the Chromecast has them thinking, well, more people are going to open up the browser, more people are going to want a Chromecast, and that means every time they search for something or go to YouTube or do anything like this, we're getting clicks, we're getting paychecks off that.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got another update. I don't know. I know it's a little shocking that I have no interest in it, but I am a strictly iOS and AirPlay environment in my home, and I'm very happy with it. So
you're gonna get I'm an iOS guy.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna write that down. If only I knew a guy who could design the T-shirt.
If only.
Yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about, since you guys are happy with the Chromecast, Colm and I, Andrew, are very happy with our Wemo purchase from Belkin, which is our home automation, the beginning of our home automation setup. And Colm has how many switches now? 5 and motion switches?
3 lights and a fan. 4.
How's it working? Any better?
There was an update to the app, and it does refresh devices, but to be honest with you, it's gotten the motion one. I'm pretty much saving up for the next month when I buy office supplies to get motions on those other lights, because it's so much better to just set it like that. You never have to do anything.
Yeah. Well, the next step for you, I believe, at least in some parts of your house, and what I'm about to do, and hopefully not, this may be the last show I'm alive on because I may get electrocuted, is the light switch. Belkin sent this to me. Now, this is very interesting. I almost couldn't wrap my head around it. This is a whole new level, Colm, of using the IFT website. Mm-hmm. You remember the Philips Hue bulbs? Do you know what those are, Andrew? The Philips Hue bulbs? Yeah. Well, basically, there's a thing on ifttt.com where when your favorite team scores or starts their game or does whatever, that the lights blink. Well, you're talking about Chromecast first generation. This already has a couple recipes for the light switch where whatever lights it's hooked up to, they're going to blink in certain situations. So for $150 less, you get this, and you're starting to get that functionality like with the Philips Hue bulbs. Now, you're not going to have colors like the Hue bulbs do, but I don't think that kind of premium is worth it. And the switch is, from what I could see on IFTTT and all the other things that I can do with the Belkin Wemo app, I'm very excited to get started with this. I think this is going to be a great addition. And if you have multiple switches, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, one switch can control, say you have 3 other switches, and this is the thing you're in right now, Colm. You can set up a recipe or a rule to have this one switch, say, in the hallway, control all the other switches in the house. So if you want to shut off all the lights at the end of the night, you go to that light switch, say in your bedroom, you're already laying in bed.
That's great.
You go to the light switch, and it shuts all the lights that are connected to Wemo switches off in the house. I think that is, $49.99. They're really, you're talking about price point with the Chromecast. I think Wemo is hitting a real sweet spot with $40 to $50 for the singular ones, and then $75 to $80 for the motion combination kit. I think that's a great price point for them.
Here's my issue with home automation.
He's afraid of robots.
I'm terrified of robots. It's going to come off a little obnoxious, but I have a really big house. And for me to implement home automation, it would cost me so much money. I probably have 50 to 100 light switches and outlets in this house. How would someone like me be able to implement something like this all across, the house? It would be devastating financially.
Yes.
You're right. You do sound obnoxious.
I'm sorry. I only have 8 bedrooms.
Why? I can't go over and
wait a
turn
minute.
up the
Donald
light.
Trump, I don't think, has 50 to 100 light switches in his $5 million apartment.
No, I got... okay, so I'll tell you right now. In this room alone, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... light switch. I have 2 light switches, but I have 7 outlets and light switches together in this
10,
one room.
So bring it.
In this one room.
I have 10 in this one room.
So I have, let's say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
right.
22,
You have a lot of light switches.
23, 24. I have 24 just on this floor.
What do you have all that connected to, say, in the studio? That makes it, because there could be a workflow where whatever's connected to a certain, you could probably have maybe a fourth of that and be able to do a bunch of different stuff. For me, it's just like I'll give you just an annoyance with me is people to leave the lights on. So I come back from the gym and it's 8 o'clock in the morning and it's light out and it's a little dark in the stairway on the entrance to my apartment, but it's not that dark. And I come home and the light's on. If I go to work and then come back 8 hours later, that light is on. So, she thinks she's living in a prison, but at the same time, I can monitor on the app and see like the light that was on in the living room all the time. I can see that light's on. And then just like I did from London, I can shut the light off or create a rule.
But let me, okay. So let's say
I sound like a jerk now.
No. I'm just trying to, I've always been fascinated with home automation. My first, Intel computer was an IBM Aptiva. It was an MMX Aptiva, and it came with IBM home automation, the X10. Oh. And it came with a bunch of it. Like it was like some weird deal. The computer was like $3,000, and it came with like 10 of these things. And I had set it up all over the place. But the problem with it was like I never used it. So give me, like, I'm curious, like the people that are using this, when does this thing come in handy and when is it not just like a cool little toy?
Okay. The one that I will say, and I wish in a way that I had this set up. Do you have central air? I know me and Colm do. Do you have central air in your house?
No.
He's got all these light switches.
I have all these.
Now he doesn't have central
air. when the house was built in 1910, they decided, well, you know what? We'll just put in light switches. Forget about the central.
I guess so.
I'll give you an example of what I was interested in. What I'm going to do for my parents when I go back to Philadelphia, I'm going to get one of these for them. They have a in-wall air conditioner that goes into the plug. So what you do is you put the switch kit that, where is it? Oops. Here we go. So you plug in this, and then you plug the air conditioner into that, and you're probably going to need an adapter because I think that works on a different voltage on the air conditioner. You plug this in, then you set up a recipe. You can set up a rule actually for the air conditioner to turn off and on at specific times of the day. So you know when it's the hottest, when it's the coldest during the course of a summer day. Now, the interesting part is you can set up a recipe to basically log how much electricity that air conditioner uses and put it in a Google spreadsheet automatically every month. I think that separates it from being just a toy. And now you can see, wow, this air conditioner is just bleeding out money. It's not very energy efficient. Maybe I should get another one because according to the spreadsheet, after about 5 or 6 months, it's gonna end up paying for itself. That's one of the uses that I can see it being very good for people on a budget or wanting to control their electrical consumption.
Now, Josh, you built a brand new house. I was curious, is there are they building these homes that where the breaker is and where all this lines are going in? It gives you like this maybe like an LCD and it gives you all the stats for every outlet, every line coming in.
Yes, you can get that, but those things, they're still using, in my opinion, like 3-year-old technology, like giant hardware, and then you're paying a fortune for all that because you have to buy it through these certain type of people that do it. You know what I mean? So it's all, you can get anything. I mean, I just met with a guy who does window treatments, and each one is a custom job. And I was like, I just want to have a button where I walk into a room and hit it and all the blinds go up. And he's like, that's like really expensive. I'm like, what? It's like a hobby motor, isn't it? And it just turns it. But it's apparently not like that.
But they got to cut the actual cutting blinds for windows is expensive.
Yeah.
Much less putting a motor in it. But all right, you use the X10. I know about X10. I know about Smart Home. I know about
the X10 was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah. These convoluted ways of doing it where you actually need the computer behind me to use it as a central server and have all the camera angles and everything like that. The first step I took, and I'm going way back, into like home security and monitoring was I had 3 Macs throughout my house. I had a Mac Mini, I had a laptop, and I also had an iMac. I don't know why I had so many, but they all had webcams attached to them. And I used an app. I don't even know if it's still in the App Store called iCam. and it gave me up to 4 camera angles, and it had a motion detector attached to it. So if one of the cats or somebody walked by, or just on demand, if I wanted to bring up that camera, no matter where I was in the world, I could see it and also record footage when the motion detector went off. It would record on, I think it would give me 10 minutes of recording time at the time. That's pretty cool. And that's a 99-cent app with a 99-cent in-app purchase compared to these $1,500 ones. I think that's was the first step in me saying, wow, this iPhone's going to be the way it's going to be for all home automation and security.
I remember that. I had that same app, and I remember thinking that exact same thing. That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, you use your phone now to open up your doors.
Yeah.
So how far is it going to go? It's going to be that little device you bought. I know you can't do it with your Nexus, Andrew. I'm sorry. But that iPhone is going to be the central everything. It's more of a convergence device than ever before. And this light switch and all the other stuff, I just can't say enough of how long I've waited for you might think it's expensive, Andrew, but you bought a $3,000 laptop. If you buy, how many would you have to buy? You would have to buy 60 of these devices to add up to that. So it's really not that expensive.
It's cool. Like I'm actually thinking about doing one room at a time with something like that. Like the studio, for example. I don't know what's going on. Like someone's breaking into my house.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Do you hear that?
Check on that.
I don't know. Well, maybe I'll die on the air. Never really be happy.
Did you make sure to add my name to the?
No, you're not getting anything. Michael's getting the Axia. I'm sorry.
I could have those DVDs in the.
You could have the DVD rack that you hate.
So if you go, I get the Axia.
No. Like, okay, so I've already worked this out. Spencer gets the Axia.
Spencer's a millionaire. He doesn't need anything.
Well, he I promised it to him.
Allegedly.
I promised it to him. I'll give my microphone to Suncast. Colm could get my old Mackie, and he could start fresh.
Oh my God!
There you go.
Yeah. But like it would come in handy for me for my studio because I leave the air conditioner on, and I wouldn't mind being able to say, okay, you know what? It's cooled down enough. I'll turn it off, and I don't have to come downstairs and do it.
Yeah, the rule too is you could have that thing come on at 9 a.m. and then shut off at 6 p.m. or something.
Right.
Everybody forgets everybody overuses and forgets. So this is kind of like an extra safety guard. If you want to turn it back on, you just manually turn it back on from the phone. So it makes it that much simpler. So let me see if I die, then probably installing this light switch. Maybe I'll leave. Who would want me to leave my Drobo FS? Because that's what I'm going to give the updated review on next.
Me.
You want the Drobo FS, okay? So the Drobo FS, I went back to doing product reviews, Andrew, and that seemed to be very popular throughout the T4 show videos on YouTube's history. We were pretty unique where we would go into the 6-month, 1 year, 2 year updates. This update on the review is 2 years, 4 months, and 2 weeks. So almost 2.5 years I've been using the Drobo FS, and man, I can't believe I had it that long, and it's worked very well for me. Now, it's a network attached storage device. It's very expensive. It was $650 when I bought it, but I checked the GFQ Amazon store, and it's all the way down to $389, which for something that it supports at least 16 terabytes of hot swappable drives, it's not really that bad of a deal.
How much is
at this point? $389.
That's not bad at all.
It's not.
Bad. Maybe I should do that.
So
it's Callie Lewis send it to you?
No. She won't. She's too busy doing Talk Mobile. She doesn't have any time for that anymore. I've been using it, and the only outside of just
does it use Thunderbolt is my question to you.
What's that?
Does it use Thunderbolt?
No, the newer ones use Thunderbolt. So this is basically about 2 generations ago, but right now the FS for $389 is the most affordable Drobo as far as network attached storage goes. Other ones have more server grade pricing and stuff like that. I'm looking at it right now to see what they have.
So do you guys think like the way of the future is going to go is that we're just all going to have these bays that'll have our own, I guess, personal cloud that'll actually use physical hard drives, and then everything else that we have mobile will just be flash drives?
No, I think the concept of a hard drive is going to be totally irrelevant in 10 to 20 years.
So it's all going to be flash.
It's all going to be cloud based. And then you obviously there's going to be some sort of local storage. But
servers, yeah, what are those? Aren't those going to have to be physical?
Yeah, those are going to be physical hard drives. But the concept of people having hard drives or servers in their home that's already gone. I mean, really think of the scenarios that you have to be in to kind of need a server. We need one here at GFQ because we're storing terabytes of data a year.
Right.
But most people don't need it. Everything is on the cloud. You have Netflix streaming. Your music is on the cloud. You no longer need these crazy storage setups.
Well, the reason why I say that is because there's one problem I hear over and over again from everyone I talk to that has a cell phone, and that is they don't know what to do and what they're supposed to do with their photos. I hear people saying, like, I can't back up anymore. It's just I'm out of room. And they're like, are these saved? And someone will say they're on the cloud. And then they'll say they're only there for 30 days. So
Spencer asks an interesting question. He goes, can someone explain to the old guy in the chat what the cloud is? You want to explain what that is, Josh?
Basically, there's a giant warehouse in middle America.
The Sky.
No.
It's called the NSA.
Yeah, and in these rooms are just rows and rows and rows of just hard drives pretty much on there. And that's where they store stuff. And the different people like Yahoo and Google and whatever, either they own the place or they rent spaces in these different areas. Does that make sense? And not all data is in one place. So they'll put like half of something here and half over there, and then it's backed up over in this area. So it's always, we don't have to worry about like if one goes down, everything's gone.
Like Dropbox, for example. If you use Dropbox, your content is on the cloud. If you use iTunes Match, your content is on the cloud.
Does that make sense?
Well, it was a little convoluted, but I'm sure it's good enough.
Okay. Basically, you're talking about the easiest way to say it is the Apple data center is basically for iCloud. So what they're opening, what they have in North Carolina and what they're opening up in another state, I believe, and the data center in Utah and all that stuff that the NSA has, that's considered to be cloud storage too. They're backing up all your data, Spencer, for you, so don't worry. NSA's got you covered.
Yeah, and pretty much if you're using cloud storage at all, just remember that as soon as you put it on their servers, you do not own that content anymore.
That's not
true. No, that was a big thing with Dropbox. The Dropbox can turn your stuff over to the authorities anytime that they ask for it. You do not own anything on Dropbox. There was a big,
so let me play devil's advocate. What am I storing that I like? If I am in fear that I'm going to be prosecuted based on something that I'm in possession with on my computer, why would I store it on the cloud? And what do I currently have? What am I in possession of that they could prosecute me for?
Photos
of who?
Screenshots
of what?
No, I'm just saying those are the type of things they would look for.
No, I know, but I mean,
what about all your emails? Like, isn't Google own all those if you use Gmail?
Sure.
Yeah.
They know what's going on.
Well, you could say, hey, I'd love to take a trip to Turkey, and they're going to say, oh, you're an anti-American.
I would never go to that awful country.
I'm saying, though.
He hates Turkey. It's a whole thing.
Well, anyway, the Drobo FS is $389. I looked at there's a 5-bay version, the Drobo 5N, that's $560 and 97 cents on Amazon Prime. Doesn't look like there's too much of a difference. It was released December 13th, 2012 on the 5N. If you take a step up, actually, no, the FS is a 5-bay. I'm sorry, they're both 5 bays. There might be an extra speed of technology or maybe more RAM in the 5N. But then you go up to the Drobo minis and stuff like that, and you're in the $1,000 range. So I think $389 to $560 is a great. I think $560 is a little expensive. If you can get the FS for $389 or $398, I should say, it's not a bad deal at all. Now the Drobo Mini now can take drives and SSDs, so that's not a bad deal. But you're going through Thunderbolt on that Colm, so I know you're interested in that stuff. But if you're going over the network, you don't need to have an SSD. That's a waste.
Right.
Doing it that way. So Drobo FS over 2 years, and hopefully I didn't.
How about the sound coming out of it? Is it like loud or quiet?
Well, the best part about having it on the network is I have a plug in this closet, but it doesn't work because the other plug doesn't work, or else I would plug in my Airport Express and put the Drobo FS in the closet over there. It's under my TV. It's right by the Airport Extreme in the living room, and I don't hear it when I'm watching TV. It doesn't kick up too much. And as you can see in the video, I haven't used anywhere near the few terabytes of storage that I have, and I haven't even used the theoretical limit of the 16 terabytes, I should say. And I think with software updates, it's 32 now. So it's at least 16 terabytes of data that I can put in that Drobo FS and put my photos, my pictures, my videos, even complete backups using Super Duper, using Time Machine. I just think it's a really decent thing. There's other ones out there, like Synology makes one. I think iOmega has them, stuff like that, but it doesn't seem like it's as simple as using the Drobo dashboard, and you cannot hot swap the drives and have them rebuild like you can with the Drobo while you use basically I can use iTunes and rebuild the drives at the same time.
Right.
Well, you've been eyeing it up technology. For years. I was eyeing it up for years, and I finally pulled the trigger. You've been eyeing it up, and maybe I might have an extra Drobo for you. I don't know.
I've always been the guy who's bought hard drive enclosures, and I only buy them based off of noise. Like, they have to be completely quiet or I don't want to buy it. And that process is good, but like you said, it doesn't do any of the allocating and moving data around, and it's not all in this nice little package. So I would love to get one, but I would really like to get the Thunderbolt version, just because, I mean, look at the new stuff that we saw with this new Mac Pro with all the Thunderbolt ports. So I'm assuming that is here to stay, or am I wrong? I mean, I got that laptop behind me has a Thunderbolt port on it too.
That would be you'd future-proof yourself, and if you got a Mac Pro, of course you would use the Drobo. The Drobo Mini would be great. Speaking of minis, we're going to skip over that BlackBerry Messenger thing. I read it. It's not a big.
Who even uses that? I don't even know how to even.
It's the only thing they got left. So. We're going to get to the opening of the show when I talk about the iPad mini, which I have right here, right now. I'm reading the show notes. According to MacRumors.com, the next iPad mini is likely to have Retina display, possibly multiple colors of back covers. The interesting thing is that Samsung is supposed to be the one making the Retina displays for the new iPad mini. Will this make you, I got to tell you, just quickly, holding this iPad mini and then holding the regular size iPad, which is in this household as well, I can't go back to the 9.7 inch iPad. It just feels, it hurts my hands. It feels so much heavier, more cumbersome. This is the perfect screen size, the perfect tablet size for me from now on.
Wow. I'm buying one as soon as they release them. So it'll be my first upgrade in like 2 years. Can you believe it? I stayed with the 3.
I actually can, especially since the 4 wasn't really much of an upgrade.
I'm still on the iPad 2. I've been waiting for something new to come out, and I was hoping the 3 was going to be it, and the 3 was crappy, and the 4 was just totally BS. So I'm still waiting.
Well, you still have to buy your father-in-law one, right?
I got to buy my father. Yeah, no, I got to get my dad an iPad. I was going to get it for his birthday. His birthday's next week, but now, I'm like, what do I do?
You gotta wait.
I gotta wait. Like, it's stupid if I were to go buy an iPad for myself. What I was actually going to do is buy myself an iPad and give him mine. But
are you even considering the Nexus 7 with him or no?
No, that's not even a consideration.
Why, Android would be a nightmare.
Oh, it's a nightmare. Yeah, I have a Nexus. I have a Nexus 7, and I've given it to him, and he hates it.
Yeah, well,
it's a smart guy.
Oh, well, let's see. I charged this up yesterday. Can I use it? Oh, it's dead already. Thanks.
Hey, why don't you go to the Google store at the mall and exchange it?
Can you do that?
Yeah, if they ever get them there. They'd be smart to actually probably open up some stores.
I was thinking about that.
They would be really smart to do that to compete with Apple. So what about the colors? This is something I looked at. That was the end of the title and the end of the headline on MacRumors.com. But I've been thinking about this since the iPhone C, as far as it said on MacRumors.com last week, showing different colors on the backs of the iPhone 5, the low-budget iPhone 5 that's rumored to be released. I mean, what do you think about different colors on the backs of these devices like the iPad mini?
I mean, I think it gives people more of a choice. So I think it's good in that way. To me, I'm just gonna get the white one, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people care about what color there is. I mean, another thing that's weird though is that if they're gonna just put a case on it, what does it even matter? So.
Yeah, I guess you're right with that, but I think it is a selling point. There's a lot of people that they go for the aesthetics, and a huge selling part for the iPod was the fact that you could buy it in every possible color that you could imagine. So
Do you think they're doing that against Nokia because they release colors on their phones?
Yeah, I think it's something that they're going to do. I don't know if you know what I'm curious about. Like, who's buying those yellow Nokia phones?
General Destroyer.
Yeah, General Destroyer.
Like, who's buying those? Like, who's buying the yellow and the teal green? Like, who's buying those colors? Like, I don't understand that.
Someone on this show said he wanted the yellow 920. From what I can understand, what he had said. You,
me?
The yellow, was it the yellow or the red?
Maybe the red. I wouldn't get the yellow.
I got the red.
No, it was Colm wanted the yellow one.
No, I got the red. Remember? I got the red.
Yeah, but you wanted yellow because. No. You told me you wanted yellow because they said yellow's out and we can't get yellows anywhere. And you're like, well, I want that one then. I was like, I don't want a yellow phone.
This is made up.
You literally said because no one else can get them, I want it because then I'll be like the only guy on the planet with a yellow phone.
If you're looking for a Chromecast, I have an unopened one right over there.
Send it to me.
You want it?
Maybe. I don't know.
Send me a t-shirt.
I'm worse than you. I changed my mind not in 2 weeks, in like 20 minutes. God.
But I mean, they are going to with the next iPhone. They are going to probably do color for that thing.
What do you mean?
The cheap iPhones.
Oh, we've already gotten a color. It's over.
I think they're going to go with color.
Oh,
so they're not going to say low budget. They're just going to say color, like the iPod Touch. They're going to disassociate them with the higher end, like the 5 I have in my hand or the 5S that's coming out, by not saying this is a cheaper or low. Because if they use terms like that, it doesn't look as good. They're just going to go laterally and say this is a color iPhone.
I mean, all it's going to be is a plastic. It's just going to be plastic, right? Like the old Macs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, polyurethane.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
I was a fan of MacBooks that had the poly. I had a MacBook for a long time, the white one, and man, I loved it because I could travel with it and I didn't have to worry about scratching it, and it was very tough, and I knew that it could take a beating. So there's something to be said for that.
I can't imagine them using C, iPhone C.
I know, it's so dumb.
Like it's like, oh, iPhone, you got the iPhone crap.
It's like saying the new iPad.
Bunch of kids are going to be bullied in school for having this thing.
No, say no to bullies. Be a star.
Well, we're the same people that made fun of the iPad name. Now look.
Yeah, everybody's walking around with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't bring up websites, can we?
No.
All right. Well, we'll go to the next story. This is very interesting, and this goes with, we talked about cases. I have an iPad mini here. I have an iPhone. Sometimes I just like to kind of like make a custom case. Now the UPS store is offering, they're about to offer actually 3D printing service in select San Diego, California locations. So basically the UPS store is going to get a 3D printer in. I wonder if we can print up some iPhone cases.
That is really cool, actually. I saw that story, and I'm curious what the cost is going to be to use them, but I do think that's really cool.
I think Kinko's better start worrying. I mean, obviously this shows that UPS was trying to make their stores more like a FedEx Kinko's type of thing.
UPS store, I'm a huge fan of the UPS store. If you ever get packages or you get a lot of, you don't want to have to wait around a sign for anything, it's worth it just for that. But they have a lot of other great services, and the customer, it's an independently owned franchise store. So it's not a corporation that owns the store. It's an actual person or persons that bought the franchise. So it is like a small business owner type setting in there. And I've always been satisfied for $200 a year to get my packages signed for and to get all my mail and not have to worry about going out to the mailbox all the time. I get text messages and emails when I get a package, so I don't have to wait around for that. The convenience of just dealing with that, plus the customer service, is pretty good. Now they're adding premium services like this that are actually fun.
Right.
Yeah, you're right, Colm. I mean, Kinko's has to, I'd much rather go to a UPS store anymore than a FedEx, unless I have a FedEx package I have to send out.
Who goes to FedEx?
Ugh.
Maybe your dad.
Maybe.
It's a legacy.
But no, but here's the thing with this whole 3D printing. I mean, what actually are you going to get made? You can get cell phone cases made. What else? Little trinkets of things, but this little trinket that should cost you really like 5 cents is probably going to cost you $5.
Yeah, but the price.
I don't know what you'd be printing.
$20,900 a pop.
And
you
can't print a bunch of them either, because it takes forever to print one object.
You know when it's going to be worth something like you. I'm just thinking, out loud. You need a leg for a desk. The leg broke, and you can't. Yeah. You're either going to have to buy an entire desk, or you could just go and get a replacement leg by going. What?
You say Earl Grey hot.
What are you saying?
Replicator. That's I couldn't hear. Star Trek. This is one step closer to Star Trek.
Yeah, so you just go and you get the schematics. Probably the manufacturers are going to produce, whatever, and they're going to charge you like $40 or $20 to use this thing.
I didn't think of that, Andrew. That's actually a pretty brilliant idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, but if it's an IKEA desk, like you just get another IKEA desk for $40. It's not. I wouldn't wait around for that. I'm looking here. Homeowner. Yeah. Looking here. Next, we have the homeowner Colm segment. Yes. Let's stick with
Luckily, I brought visuals. So here, since we can't do the website. Okay. This week, I went into discovering about staining a deck. Or a porch, I guess it's a porch. Have either of you stained a porch?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Yourself?
Yes.
I guess I should have talked to you then. Well, I didn't even attempt it, I'll be honest. I went and got this little booklet from the fine people at Benjamin Moore. And what I learned is that there's two basic kinds. There's semi-solid, and semi-transparent. I went with semi-solid, and I just picked a number, and then I called up my guy, and now it's beautifully done. And it was less than an Xbox One. So that's what homeowner Colm went back to his old ways, and he did.
You paid someone to do it for you when you could have done it perfectly fine.
So I'm coming out.
Sounds like your deck stainer fell off a truck, like a stolen piece of property. You did it for like $400. To stain that entire porch.
Is that good?
I think it is.
How big is your porch?
Not that big. It's like a porch.
You could have paid $100 to some guy at Home Depot and he would have come and done it.
No. I gotta. Anyway, so what I had to learn, what the main point of it was, I learned that it was terrible. I didn't do it myself, but learning about the different paint and like how long it'll actually last, because this is an outdoor area of my home, and it looks like you have to get your deck done every 4 years.
Well, did you weather seal it?
Yes.
Okay.
Arbor coated. Didn't you click on my amazing link I gave you?
No.
And how it beads up with cutting edge technology?
No.
Well, yeah. I got the kind of beads.
Beads.
I'll give you a fun fact. I never ever want to own a home again in my life. I'm going to rent. My life. I don't want to. It's a pain in the ass. You pay extra taxes, which always go up every year. You pay insurance. You have to pay to maintain it. You've got to pay a landscaper now. Call him. You tried to mow the lawn. It's a pain in the ass. It's not worth it. I've owned plenty of homes in my life, and none have been a pleasurable experience or anything. So I'm just going to, just rent apartments and destroy them at will.
I have to change a pipe in one of my bathrooms today.
You're going to lay pipe?
I have to change the pipe.
Oh.
So I don't do that. I call somebody. I just text the maintenance people and tell them.
Yeah, I call my guy.
I just actually, homeowner Andrew recently converted one of our bedrooms to a gigantic walk-in changing room for my wife.
You did a good job with that.
You saw it?
Yeah,
it came out really good.
You did.
At the built
It's
shelf.
impressive how handy you are.
I'm very handy. And I could change a transmission in your car, too.
Wow. I need a mouse and a keyboard to be handy. It's awful.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough with homeowner Colm. Let's talk about sports.
You want to talk about sports, or you want to talk about sports gaming? Now, Andrew, you're going to say that you're going to get on Colm about this, but he's very much into wanting to play Madden again. Every year he goes through this phase where he wants to play Madden. He wants to play online every night against me or whoever else plays Madden. And I have a wait and see attitude. I'm hopeful every year, but by September, second, third week in September, it's over. He doesn't want to play anymore. But according to probably the best sports gaming website out there, I think it is, pastapadre.com, sports gaming community is trending sharply towards, are you ready for this? I threw a little swerve. I have an Xbox One shirt on, but it's trending sharply towards the PlayStation 4. And they did a poll last week, and the results are buying a PS4 at launch, 44%, buying neither, 34%.
Yeah, wow.
That's a big number right there. Buying Xbox One, 17%, buying both, 5%. And it was a vote of a poll of 7,316 voters. Wow, buying neither at launch, 34% is a huge number. Wow.
Huge.
I mean, what do you think? 5%. Do you think it has to? I mean, I think the answer to this poll is pretty much what happened at the two events, and this is pretty much the result.
The number is shocking here. Like, first of all, when we talked about the two consoles, I believe we said that if you're more of a sports type person, you would go with the Xbox One.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand this, but I guess with the game, I guess the whole sharing thing and stuff like that maybe is getting people more on PS4 side, but buying neither at launch, like you said, that is a ridiculous number. And look how small the Xbox One number is. Like, it's not even 20%.
Yeah. They go on to say, there's a paragraph here that says the PS4's $100 price difference carrying the only MLB game. That might have put it over the top right there when MLB The Show. Packing in a headset, offering suspend mode, and a longer DVR gameplay recording frame is winning out over the Xbox One's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. They have Connect, television features, NFL partnership, and exclusive content for EA Sports games. I guess the NFL isn't as much of a. We're huge football fans, so obviously the Xbox One may, carry out for us. But I didn't know about the DVR gameplay recording frame being longer. I wasn't aware. I didn't even think the details were out about that. I don't know what suspend mode is. Is that like the PS Vita, where if you just put the screen off or shut it down, it goes right back to where you were?
Yeah, basically, it has a new mode where you just hit it. It's off. You could go away, come back, and just hit a button, and you're exactly where you were, and it's using less power.
Well, what about you, Andrew? I mean, are you still? You're buying both, right?
I'm getting both, yeah. And I'm gonna
we're in the top 5%.
No, I'm gonna get both.
We have 100 light switches.
I have 100 light switches. Yes. No outlets and light switches. That's what I'm counting. No, I pre-ordered both.
First of all, here's my question: why are you and I both buying both? That's so stupid.
Because we're mentally ill.
I'll shock both of you, and I think I'm going to be in the crowd that buys neither.
I'm not surprised.
You want my Wii U? You can use my Wii U.
My Wii U.
I do. I have accessories I need to review. I might need a Wii U just so I don't get in the doghouse with Nyko. I have like 3 accessories I haven't even touched yet. Wow. All right, so this might answer the question then. Since Pasta Padre released that poll, there's also brand new videos for Madden NFL 25, and it has our teams on there, Colm, the Philadelphia Eagles and Washington Redskins. And with these gameplay videos, I don't know if they're PS4 or Xbox One. Actually, it's for the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions of Madden 25. So we're talking about
because Madden comes out on launch day, and we don't have exact launch day. So it's a port. We know it's a port. I mean, we're not going to play the next Madden on the next systems. It's stupid to even think that.
I don't think any of the sports games are going to be this. They're all going to be legacy games. They're all going to be ports. And then next year, all the developers have a chance. I'm really confused by the loss of revenue that they're encountering with the NFL partnership, especially for the Xbox One, of why they didn't try to release this system at the beginning of the football season. I think there's a lot of money being left on the table by not having this ready for football season.
I mean, you make a point there, but because the NFL is the number one sport in America, but does that translate? Are most NFL fans gamers? I mean, well, I guess isn't Madden the number one selling game every year, or is it Call of Duty now? Did it switch?
I don't know. EA came out with a thing saying that their iOS games draw more money or make them more money than anything on any console ever.
Did Michael just use a term?
What?
Draw. Anyway.
No, I don't think I did.
He did. So are you saying that you're going to go and get Madden when it comes out for Xbox 360 and then you're going to get it again? Oh,
Well,
wait, you're not going to get either console
you
now.
don't listen to me. I'm getting an Xbox One or a PS4.
So obviously you're going to get one by next year because how are you going to play Madden?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get one by next year, but I have to see. I mean, if there's going to be a price drop or a package, or if they're going to try to do something.
Package, yeah.
Go
That's
to Costco.
probably what we should do, Andrew. And we're being crazy by not doing that.
What is that?
We shouldn't get either one and then get it next year in 2014.
I mean, it does make a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, what I would do is
Dota.
I wouldn't pre-order on Amazon. What I would do is go to a wholesale club like Costco or BJ's, and you'll get that extra controller for free. You'll get a couple games for free. You'll get a lot more for probably even less money doing it that way. And you just have to wait till maybe after Christmas for that.
Right.
That's all.
But mine's going to have the nice little thing that says first day launch.
Oh, God. Let's go to some questions.
Yeah, and then you'll get a red ring and have to send it back 15 times.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to some questions. We only have a couple here, I think. On Twitter, Kyle Duffield, Kyle J. Duffield. He's on every podcast imaginable throughout the country. He asked, can you guys recommend a good iPad mini case? Well, in my estimation, I think going with the smart cover, since they don't have a smart case, and just this basic rocket fish clear back from Best Buy, and I got this open box for like $14. I think that's a great combination where you keep the iPad mini in its original state. I don't like folio cases. I don't like anything that makes the iPad mini or any iPad thicker than it already is. I like to keep it as light and as thin as possible while protecting it. So, yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
I get that when I get my Retina version.
Whatever. I think there's a lot of good rocket fish stuff at Best Buy, including that. You can't really go wrong with. You can't really go wrong with, buying a clear back case. It's not going to be less quality than the Belkin one or the in case or anything else like that. So I'm going to go here to Facebook real quick. Give me a second here. It's loading. My network is incredible. We already answered Nikki's question about what are your thoughts on the Chromecast. So just listen to episode 152. I'll like her thing right. Oops, I almost deleted it. I won't. Matthew Dunn, 8 minutes ago, do you actually care about BlackBerry Messenger on iOS and Android? Nope, we don't. No. How's that? Very good.
Nobody cares about it.
Nobody cares.
Now,
what? I don't even understand what's so hype about it.
It was pretty much the only good thing about BlackBerry Messenger, but now everybody has Gtalk or iMessage.
What made it so great? That's what I don't understand.
Back then, it was like it was like instant messenger just for people on Blackberries. It was really sorry, too close, Mike. It was really good for what it was. I had a BlackBerry. I have a Curve for a while, and it was really good for doing. But it was also clunky because what you'd have to do is you would have to share your PIN, which was like an 8 or 9 digit number, Andrew, with some letters in it. It was not very easy to add people to BlackBerry Messenger.
You know what's funny? I never had a BlackBerry.
Either did I.
Never had a BlackBerry. All my friends did. They loved BBM. I never had it.
Yeah, so there.
You know what I wanted to say too, since we're heading into the end of the show. If I want your take on this, because Suncast got a little upset that we were calling it Picks of the Week. Is that a Tech News Weekly exclusive?
That is a Tech News Weekly exclusive. Yes.
He got very, very upset. So we have to think of another name. I thought of like Tech and Whores, but he didn't like that one. And
Tech and Whores.
Yeah, Tech and Whores. It just catches people's attention. So I thought, Should we do any kind of picks in the show, or should we just leave that for Tech News Weekly?
I don't have a pick with me, but I mean, you guys could do your version of a pick.
I think the whole show is basically our picks with the Wemo and your Chromecast. I think we can pretty much stick with that.
Yeah.
But and we can't even bring the site up. But we're going to talk about the shirts me and Andrew are wearing real quick before we go. I have the I'm an Xbox One guy. You can't see the whole thing.
Oh, it looks good.
But it's a very nice shirt designed by J Maverick Design, who's designed every T-shirt on the Stevie Richards and the T4 Show ProWrestlingTees.com stores. And these T-shirts are $20 a piece. Really great. You have the BWO one, which is available right now.
A classic.
A classic.
And every time I wear it, I'll go out, no matter what time it is, and someone will go, Blue World Order.
Yeah, that
20. It's 20 years later, and everybody still recognizes it.
20 years later. It's
my wife wears that shirt, by the way.
15 years later, Michael.
To bed, and I always say, good night, Stevie.
You do know that his wife loves me, Andrew. Did you
My wife loves you too.
She does?
Yeah.
That's good to know some people do. So basically, only the women that are not with me love me. That's really nice to know.
Says something.
It is. My cats love me, so that's good too. All right. So you go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Stevie Richards. You can get this by clicking on the T4 link from there. It's on a different page. It's on the podcast page, but we have two different spots on ProWrestlingTees.com. Excellent customer service, fast shipping, ships all over the world. So even if you're in the UK or in Iraq or Afghanistan, but maybe not those two places, I'm not sure. Nobody's ordered from there yet. But wherever you are in the world, even Turkey, we deliver to Turkey. So if you want to order a T-shirt and you're in Turkey, you can have a BWO shirt. So that is about it. You can follow me at Michael Manna. You can follow him if they switch it. Are you switching? Are you switching?
There you go.
Only if you're ready for. But only if you're ready for TI3 news and me going crazy about. Do you either know what TI3 is, and it starts tomorrow?
What,
the International 3. It's the big Steam Dota 2 tournament.
Such a waste of time. I cannot believe you wasted
one episode without.
Dude, the winner gets 1.5 million. It's a pretty big event now.
Wow. Well, we're going to stream later, hopefully, and play some Dota 2. You're going to teach me how to play it.
Are we streaming on GFQ Gaming?
We are going to do that.
On GFQ Gaming.
Of course.
Let's do it.
Of course. The DDP Yoga is on the Ustream one, and on its own, but we go to GFQ Gaming. Someone changed the password. I couldn't stream video games last week, so you'll have to give it to me.
Oh, it's either minus the number or adding the number.
Oh, okay.
Because remember that thing came out where they got hacked and I had to change it?
Yes. Yeah, I remember. Well, like I said, you can follow him at Culmination. You can follow us and check us out on Dota 2. You can follow Andrew Zarian at Andrew Zarian. That's his new real name that he updated.
I updated it 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Well, I'm still right.
You are right.
Say just
It's like suspect of you now.
No, you know what's funny? People, I'll get like a message from like a viewer. They go, I discovered that your last name isn't really Zarian. And I'll go, no, yes, it is. And they'll go, well, I found this name. And I'm like, I changed it. And it's like this big thing that they found. The big secret.
They put one over on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately for me, my last name was Himmler prior to this.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
It's going to take you in. You're going to be an enemy combatant. I'm warning you. So you can follow him at Andrew Zarian. You can follow him also at GFQ Network. And we're going to have What the Tech on tomorrow. It's been rescheduled, right? So tomorrow afternoon, Paul Throd. And that is about it for episode number 152 on August 1st, 2013. But for now, for everybody here at the T4 Show, thank you and best of luck in all your future enemy combatant endeavors.